Hey, I'm a real estate broker right here in Kitsap County. I literally help people move to Kitsap County for a living. So you'd think the last thing that I'd ever do is talk you out of it. But I'm about to give you 5 honest reasons you maybe should not move to Kitsap. And it's not clickbait reasons, real ones. The kind I end up explaining to people after they've already purchased when it's too late to unknow them. So I'd rather you hear it now, all 5 from me today, than learn them the hard way after a moving truck and 1,200 miles. So stick with me all the way to the end, because the reason number 5 is the one that makes or breaks almost every single move I've ever watched happen on this peninsula. And here's the twist. If you get through all 5 and none of them scare you off, I'll tell you exactly what that says about you and why it might be the best news in this whole video. Let's go. Most people picture the Kitsap Peninsula the exact same way. Cheaper than Seattle, water everywhere you look, big evergreen trees, slow ferries gliding across the sound, eagles overhead, the whole Pacific Northwest dream. You see, they watch a highlight reel on YouTube. They fall in love with the one drone shot of the sun going down behind the Olympics, and they start pricing out moving trucks that same night. I get it. I fell in love with it here too. Here's the part that never ever makes the highlight reel. The same exact things that make Kitsap feel like paradise on a warm Saturday in July can quietly grind on you by a cold gray Tuesday in January. And I've watched it happen up close more than once. I've heard about people that bought a home over here, love it for a year, and then call me to list it and move back where they came from. Not because Kitsap is a bad place. It's a wonderful place. They left because nobody sat them down and told them the honest truth before they signed. They got the brochure version, which set them up to be let down. So let me earn the right to say all this. I sell homes across Kitsap, Pierce, and Mason County every single week. I've sat at the closing table with the people who put down deep roots and absolutely thrived here, and I've sat across from the people who've bounced back out within 18 months, and after enough of those, you start to see the pattern. The difference between the two groups almost never comes down to the house or even the price. It comes down to whether somebody told them these 5 things before they committed. And today, hope to be that somebody. So here's how this is going to go down. I'm giving you all 5 reasons in a very specific order, starting with the one that surprises people the most and ending with the one that quietly decides the entire thing. No fluff, no hype, and absolutely no sales pitch buried in here. Just the unfiltered version. And like I said, if you reach reason number 5 and you're still leaning towards the move instead of backing away from it, pay attention, because that reaction tells you something important about whether this place is actually for you. Reason number 1 is the one I find myself correcting almost every single week, usually within the first 2 minutes of the very first phone call. Everybody arrives believing the same thing, that Kitsap is cheap, and look, compared to Seattle or the east side, it absolutely is more affordable. Your dollar genuinely stretches further the moment you cross the water. But here's the trap. Cheaper than Seattle and actually cheap are 2 completely different sentences, and people blur them together. They see a number that's lower than what they'd pay in Bellevue or San Jose, and their brain files Kitsap under bargain. In 2026, that's just not the reality on the ground anymore. The peninsula is not the discount bin the internet still makes it look like. Let me give you the real numbers, because vague feelings don't help you plan. And as of 2026, the county median sales price is sitting up in the high 500s, roughly the upper 500s into the low 600s, depending on which town you're looking at. That cute little 3-bedroom rambler for 400 grand that people still have in their heads, for the most part, that house is gone and it isn't coming back. And here's the mechanic behind why. Inventory has been tight. The absorption rate is low, which is a fancy way of saying homes get bought up faster than new ones come to market. Days on market are shorter than newcomers expect for a place this rural, and we've got a serious case of what I call rate lock paralysis. Thousands of homeowners locked in 2 or 3% mortgages of few years back, there is no way they're selling that and signing up for today's rates unless life forces their hand. So the resale supply stays thin. The same recycled inventory cycles on and off the market and prices stay sticky, even when buyers slow down. Now stack the second layer on top, the part that truly catches transplants off guard. A lot of these homes are genuinely rural, and rural carries a monthly bill that nobody budgets for. A private well that you maintain yourself, a septic system you have to pump on schedule and keep an O&M, which stands for Operation and Maintenance Inspection. Propane or electric heat instead of the cheap natural gas you had back in the city. A private road with a maintenance agreement, which means you and your neighbors split the cost of the gravel and the potholes, etc. And longer drives to absolutely everything, which is just fuel money quietly leaking out of your account every single week. Here's why this matters more than any single number. If your entire reason for moving to Kitsap is that it's cheap, you are setting yourself up to be disappointed, and disappointment is exactly the emotion that sends people packing back the way they came. And the value over here is real. It's just a different kind of value. It's space, it's water out your window, it's tall trees and quiet roads and air that smells like cedar after it rains. That's the real return on your investment. So come for the life, not for the bargain price tag anymore. And you'll be 1,000 times happier with that decision, I promise. Reason number 2 is one you genuinely cannot feel from a brochure or a summer scouting trip. You only understand it after you've lived through a full year of it. It's the light, or really for a solid chunk of the year, it's the lack of it. The Pacific Northwest gray, it's real, measurable. It runs from roughly November through February, and we go through a stretch that some of the locals I know call it the Big Dark. I have a video on that as well. Short days where the sun is technically up for 8 hours, but the sky stays the color of an old nickel. A low gray ceiling and a damp, soft cold that doesn't bite like the Midwest, but somehow gets into everything you own. Now, there's a real nuance here, and the nuance actually matters for where you choose to land. Northeast Kitsap sits in a bit of an Olympic rain shadow, so towns up that way like Kingston and Hansville are noticeably drier than Seattle and noticeably drier than the Hood Canal side of the county. We're talking real differences in annual rainfall across a county you can drive across in under an hour. But, and this is the key, drier is not the same thing as sunnier. The clouds still show up, so you're still going to want to build some habits. A vitamin D supplement, maybe one of those sunrise alarm lamps that fakes a dawn, and a real plan for getting yourself outside even when it's spitting rain. Because if you wait for a blue sky day to take a walk in January, you simply won't walk. And then there's the second bill the climate hands you, the one nobody mentions, the maintenance bill. All that moisture that keeps everything so impossibly green also feeds moss on your roof, fills your gutters, and demands that you actually manage your drainage instead of ignoring it. Those gorgeous tall trees are stunning right up until one comes down across your driveway in a December windstorm. Crawl spaces have to be kept dry. None of this is a deal breaker on its own, but it's real. It's ongoing. It's hands-on work that somebody moving from a dry climate has literally never had to think about. I made an entire separate video on surviving your first Pacific Northwest winter up here. The whole coping toolkit, so I'll link that rather than rehash it. So why does the weather earn a spot on this list? Because if you are someone who needs year-round sunshine to feel like yourself, or your dream is a low-effort, zero-maintenance yard, the climate up here is going to be a steady, low-grade source of friction for you, month after month, and it's not dramatic. It's a slow drip, and it's far, far better to know that about yourself now than discover it for the first time in your second January, halfway through the gray, wondering what you did. All right, if your head is starting to spin a little, prices, climate, all of it, that's actually normal, and it's exactly why I built a website, livingBeyondSeattle.com, and in it is also a downloadable PDF relocation guide for you. It's in the description below. Check it out. It's there, no pressure. Walks you through the towns, the real cost stack, the climate, and the commute all in one place. So you're not piecing it together from a dozen videos at midnight. It's completely free. Link is in the description. Grab it, then come right back, because the next two reasons are the ones people underestimate the most. Reason number 3 is the one that quietly blindsides remote workers and career changers. The folks who did all the cost math but forgot to do the career math. The Kitsap economy leans heavily on one very big anchor: Naval Base Kitsap, the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, the broader defense and federal footprint, and then healthcare. Layered on top of that, those are the spine of the entire local job market. And honestly, that anchor is a gift in a downturn. It makes this whole region remarkably recession resistant because federal payrolls don't evaporate the way a startup does when the economy gets ugly. But the same anchor has a flip side: the private sector. Corporate, climb the ladder, switch companies every 3 years. Job market is just thinner than here than it is across the water in King County. It's not absent, it's thinner. So let's be specific about who this hits and who it doesn't. Who thrives here? Military families and federal workers, obviously. The skilled trades, which are in real demand: healthcare workers, small business owners who bring their own customers, and above all, remote workers who carry their job with them in a laptop bag and don't need a local employer at all. That last group is the fastest growing slice of my buyers, and Kitsap is fantastic for them. Now, who struggles? The person who needs a deep, dense corporate market so they can job hop and level up every couple of years. If that's you, your real options narrow down to 2. Commute to Seattle by ferry or the long way around through Tacoma, or go fully remote and hope your field allows it. There isn't really a third door, in my opinion. Here's the framing that pulls it together. Recession resistant and career concentrated are 2 sides of the very same coin. The anchor that protects your income when the broader economy goes sideways is the exact same anchor that limits your local options if your career needs variety and lots of nearby employers. Neither one is good or bad in a vacuum. The only thing that matters is which side of that coin your particular career lives on. Figure that out before you move. Please, not after you already signed. Reason number 4 is pure geography, and it's hands down the one people underestimate the most when they're falling in love with the listings. Almost everything big lives a drive or boat ride away. The major concerts, the professional sports, the international airport, the flagship stores, and most importantly of all, the advanced medical care. Now don't get me wrong, Kitsap has solid local hospitals and genuinely good day-to-day health care. You are well covered for the normal stuff, but when you need a top-tier specialist, a complex procedure, a major cancer center, that level of care, you are often looking at a trip to Seattle or down to Tacoma. What that means in practice is that you plan your life around the crossing. Getting to SeaTac Airport usually means a ferry plus light rail on the other side, or the long drive south and around through the Tacoma Narrows. A single specialist appointment in the city, it can eat half your day once you factor in the sailing and the wait. A spontaneous last-minute big city night out is rarely actually spontaneous over here because there's a boat schedule sitting between you and the city. So even the simple stuff like a specific big box store or a specialty shop can mean a real expedition rather than a quick errand. I dug into the healthcare picture specifically in its own dedicated video, the specialists, the hospitals, exactly where the gaps are and how locals work around them. So I'll send you there for that full breakdown rather than half cover it here. Why does this matter? It's simple. If you want big city amenities available on demand at a moment's notice, the geography of this peninsula is going to frustrate you on a pretty regular basis. That frustration is real, and I'm not going to talk you out of it. But if you're the kind of person who's perfectly happy to plan ahead, to batch your city trips, and to trade a little convenience for a lot of calm, then this entire reason quietly turns into a non-issue. It honestly just comes down to how you're wired as a person. Which brings us to reason number 5. And this is the big one. This is the single factor that, in my experience, makes or breaks more Kitsap moves than the other 4 reasons combined. Kitsap is a peninsula. Say it out loud, because the consequences of that one geographic fact run deeper than almost anyone realizes before they live it. Living on a peninsula means you are committed to the crossing. To get to Seattle or the east side, you have exactly 2 choices. You take a ferry across the water, or you drive the long way around down and over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. There is no quick third option. Either way, Every single trip off this peninsula becomes a logistics decision, a thing you have to plan, not a casual hop in the car the way it was wherever you came from. So let me paint what that actually looks like day to day, so it's concrete. Ferry schedules start to quietly run your entire life. You learn the sailing times by heart, you build your appointments and your dinners and your kids' games around them, and you develop a sixth sense for the boat. Miss a sailing by 90 seconds, and you've just donated an hour of your day to standing in a parking lot, staring at the water, watching the boat you wanted to shrink into the distance on, and the ferries are weather dependent and crew dependent, so a canceled sailing can blow up a carefully planned day with almost no warning at all. Spontaneity simply costs more over here than it did wherever you're coming from. Now, I'm not going to get into the specific road choke points and the worst pinch points because I covered that in the detail of my Kitsap to Seattle commute video. But the headline you need to absorb is this: the crossing is the rhythm of life on the peninsula. It sets the tempo of your week and you do not get to opt out of it. It's the price of admission every day, forever, as long as you live here. Now, here's the flip. Stay with me because this is the entire point of the video, the thing I most want you to hear. The exact same crossing that can feel like a trap is also, and at the same time, the moat. It's the single biggest reason Kitsap stays quieter, greener, slower, and calmer than the east side ever will be. That stretch of water is a filter. It keeps the crowds, the sprawl, the gridlock, that noise stacked up on the other side while you get to live over here in the trees. Serenity, seclusion, and the people who genuinely thrive on this peninsula, every last one of them eventually go through the same shift. They stop seeing the ferry as a commute they're stuck with, and they start seeing it as a decompression chamber. A slow, beautiful, water level reset between the busy world and home. The trap and the gift, they're the same thing. Whether it's a trap or a gift is decided entirely by you. So, let's bring this all the way home. 5 honest reasons not to move to Kitsap County. 1, it's not the bargain the internet sold you, especially in 2026. 2, the gray and the green both send you a bill in mood and in maintenance. 3, the job market leans hard on one big anchor, which is a gift and a limit at the same time. 4, everything big is a drive or a boat ride away, healthcare included. And 5, the big one, the Peninsula Tax. You are permanently committed to the crossing. But here's your free chocolate on the way out the door. The little extra nobody promised you. If you just sat through all 5 of those reasons and you felt more curious than scared, if the quiet sounded like peace instead of boredom, if the rain sounded cozy instead of depressing, and if that ferry sounded like a reset instead of a hassle, then you just learned the single most important thing this entire video could possibly teach you. These 5 reasons are a filter, the same way the water is a filter. And you, my friend, are not the person they're built to disqualify. You might just be exactly the person this peninsula was built for. That's not me selling you. That's the most honest read I can give you. I make these honest, no hype breakdowns every single week to help good people like you make a genuinely smart move to the Kitsap Peninsula. Eyes wide open, no regrets. If that's the kind of guide you want in your corner for this, you already know what to do. Please hit like and subscribe. Join me on the next one. And don't forget, come to my website, livingbeyondseattle.com. Grab the relocation guide. Sign up for a call. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to hear about your goals. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Blessings.